Good morning, class 5. Welcome to the school, APS Fort Camp Prayagraj. After the vacations, so hope you all did well and you were safe, stayed at home during the vacations. Before the vacations, we had done chapters 1, 2 and 4. So we'll be starting with chapter number 3, that is algorithms and flowchart. Okay, please open your books. I hope you all have books now. Open your books on page number 16 and please read with me. I'll be explaining the chapter, and after the video we will be discussing this on WhatsApp. Good morning, class 5. Today we are going to study chapter number 3, that is algorithm and flowchart. The topics covered would be, we'll be introducing algorithms, what are algorithms and what is a flowchart. Then rules which we follow for making a flowchart, and what is a program. Okay. Now first thing, whenever we are doing something, we look at it as a problem which we are going to solve. Okay. So even if you're going to do a small thing, that you're going to get ready and board the bus and go to the school. Okay, so there is a procedure which you follow. So when we write the procedure in English language, step by step. Okay, so first thing, when you get up in the morning, you brush your teeth. Okay, so step 1 would be get up in the morning. Step 2 would be brush your teeth. Okay, next is, when you brush your teeth, you take bath, you come out, do a small prayer with your mother, then you take your breakfast, dress up, wear your shoes, make your hair, and take your bag, pack your tiffin, and go out and board the bus. Okay, so this is a problem and you have given me a stepwise solution. Okay, so we do it step by step. So computer also solves the problems step by step. Whenever we are going to give a problem to the computer, if I give you add 2 numbers, the computer also does it step by step. Okay, now we come to the introduction. You know that being a machine, a computer understands the instructions given to it in its language, that is machine language, a language of zeros and ones. We have already studied, right? A computer only understands machine language. Let us understand it in the following manner. If someone asks you to add 8 plus 5, you will quickly give the answer 13. But if the same question is asked to the computer, it will not be able to answer this. It is because your instruction is not understood by the computer. It understands only the instructions given in a computer language. The instructions written in a language which a computer can understand is called a program. So we will have to write a program, that is stepwise. You will have to instruct a computer to do a simple calculation like 8 plus 5 is equal to 13. In computing, a program is implemented by a computer to solve any problem and get the results. So basically a computer program involves 3 steps: creating the algorithm, then making a flowchart, and converting the flowchart into a program. So first thing that you're going to do is you're going to write the logic Okay, logic is how are you going to solve this problem. You're going to write the logic stepwise, step by step. Then you're going to make a flow chart out of it. We will talk about the flow chart later in the chapter. And then with a flow chart, you are very close to writing a program. Then you will write a program from the flow chart. What is an algorithm? All the software programs are written in a special language called computer language. They follow a specific pattern of steps to achieve the specific object. So we follow steps to achieve the object. Object was that we need to board the bus for the school. Okay, so we have to achieve that. How do we achieve that? Stepwise. Get up in the morning, brush your teeth, and so on and so forth. Before writing a program, we have to determine the objective. So objective is the goal. What do you want to achieve? And then we start developing a pattern of steps. An algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to solve any particular task, such as mathematical or a logical problem. Let us understand it by an example. What steps would you follow to buy a new shirt? The possible steps are: take money and go to the garment shop in the market. Then tell the shopkeeper which color and what style of the shirt you want. Choose and finalize the desired shirt. Pay the money to the shopkeeper. Take the balance amount, if any, from the shopkeeper, and finally you get the desired result. That is the objective, that is the goal. What was the goal? That you want to purchase a new shirt. Okay, so more examples for algorithms are to add any two numbers. Step 1 is start. And so whenever you are writing an algorithm, the rule is that the first step has to be step 1, start, and at the end we do step 5 or step 6, stop. So an algorithm has a start and a stop. Start, take two numbers. So let's say I take the numbers in variables a and b, a number a and number b. Now add the two numbers. I add a and b. C is equal to a plus b. Okay, and now print the result. That means print C, print the result and stop. Okay, so this is the algorithm to add two numbers. Multiply two numbers. Start, take two numbers, multiply the two numbers, print the result, stop. Okay, subtract. So we say step 1 start, step 2 take two numbers, step 3 subtract the smaller number from the bigger number, step 4 print the result and stop. Is it making any sense? Is it clear? Please write down all your queries that you have while studying this chapter, and once we meet over the online class, we are going to discuss all the problems, okay, whatever you don't understand. Now next is an algorithm to find the greater number out of the two. Step 1 start, take two numbers, let's say a and b. Now we compare these two numbers. If a is greater than b, go to step 4. Step 4 says print a is greater. Else go to step 6. Step 6 says print b is greater. And once we are done with this, we need to stop. So step 5 is stop, and print b is greater, go to step 5. So at the end it will go to again step 5 stop. So if a is greater, print a, else print b. Okay, this is the algorithm to find the greater number out of the two. A flowchart is a diagrammatic representation of a problem solving process. Diagrammatic means you are going to display the flow of the problem. Okay, so we are going to show it in a diagram. So what we are going to do is we are going to convert our algorithm into a flowchart. It is called a flowchart as it charts the flow of a program. Now you need to understand whatever we have done, adding two numbers, subtracting two numbers, comparing two numbers, these are all programs. Okay. So finally from the algorithm we are going to draw a flow chart, and from the flow chart we are going to write the program. In a flow chart, so a flow chart is always from top to bottom. The flow goes from top to bottom. In a flow chart, each operation is represented using specific geometrical symbols. So the way in an algorithm we have step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 1 is start. So for a flow chart also there is a start box. There is a processing box. There is an input output box. You are getting two numbers means take input. Okay, and your printing means give output. So there are different boxes for each type of instruction. These symbols are connected to each other by arrows to show the operation. Now we are going to study the symbols and the purpose of the symbols. Okay, start stop box is an oval shaped box in which we write start, and at the end again we'll use this oval shaped box, we'll write stop. Oval shaped symbol that is used at the beginning, at the end of the flow chart. It shows the starting and the ending of a flow chart. Input output box is a parallelogram. So it is not a rectangle if you see. It is slightly tilted. Parallelogram. It's like a, you can say, do you know what do we mean by parallel lines? If two lines never meet, it's called parallel lines. Okay? So if we are drawing two lines, two straight lines, one below the other, then if you extend that line, it will never meet the other line. That is called parallel, and it is parallelogram means opposite sides are parallel. Okay, and this indicates the input output of a program. Input means when you are getting input. Get input means take two numbers. In the second program, comparing, then you are again taking two numbers, A and B. Okay, so when we give input to the computer, that is again the statement, we will be writing it in a parallelogram. And once we print, we are going to write all print and input statements in a parallelogram. Next is processing box. That is a simple rectangle shaped box used to show the processing part of the flowchart, like calculation. Simple statements when we are writing, we have to write it in a processing box. Okay, जहाँ पे आप कोई डिसीजन नहीं ले रहे हो, कोई इनपुट नहीं ले रहे हो, कोई आउटपुट नहीं दे रहे हो, सिंपल कैलकुलेशन कर रहे हो या सिंपल स्टेटमेंट लिख रहे हो, जैसे कि ब्रश योर टीथ. Okay, so brush your teeth is simple statement. It will come in a processing box. Then decision box. It's a rhombus shaped, kite shaped box used to check the conditions. That means अगर किसी condition को check करना है, you went to the washroom to brush your teeth. Before that you check, do you have the toothpaste in the bathroom? Yes. So that check condition, the way we did it in our program, is A greater than B. If A is greater than B, then print A is greater, else print B is greater. So that decision will come in a rhombus shaped box. A is greater than B. Whenever you have a question mark, so whenever you have a question, it will come in a decision box. So a question will have the answer yes or no. Okay, so we will come to this later in the chapter. Then flow lines are left right arrows which join two boxes. So start, and then the arrow goes to the next box, then the arrow goes to the next box. Same way, from a decision box we will have two arrows, one for yes and one for no. Okay, so these are called the flow lines. The rule is that these flow lines do not enter into the box, they just touch the box. So it's coming out of the box. Okay, so it will not start from inside the box, it will be just touching the box. Then connectors, if you have, let's say the program is going beyond a page, एक पेज में आपने लिखा और वो प्रोग्राम जो है लंबा है, आपका जो फ्लो चार्ट है वो बड़ा है, तो हम क्या करेंगे, इस पेज के एंड में एक कनेक्टर लगा देंगे A, एंड इन द सेकेंड पेज अगेन उस कनेक्टर A से स्टार्ट करेंगे. सो वी नो कि यहाँ के बाद मुझे कहाँ से फॉलो करना है. दीज आर कॉल्ड कनेक्टर्स. Okay, what are the advantages of flowchart? Flowchart helps in analyzing the problem in a more effective way. So if you have a problem in hand, make a sandwich. Okay, the problem is make a sandwich. So once you go step by step. Okay, once you go step by step, you'll be able to solve it more effectively. Flowchart is a better way of communicating the logic of a system. Logic means how you're going to do this. Okay, step by step. A flowchart acts as a guide during the problem development phase. So if you have already developed a flowchart, you have nearly solved what all problems you're going to face during programming, because you're doing the thinking part at that time. Do I need to check if I have toothpaste in my washroom? Do I need to check that number A and B are not equal? If A and B both are equal, then A cannot be greater than B and B cannot be greater than A. Correct? So all this thinking part we are doing in our algorithm and our flowchart. A flowchart helps in finding out errors. Same. Fine. So at the time when we are thinking of the situations, we should think of all options. What can go wrong? Okay, what if the user gives 0 for value of A and 0 for value of B? Okay, so we need to ask the user again, please enter values greater than 0. Then we need to maybe handle an error condition that A and B should not be equal. Okay, so we need to tell the user, please give different values. Next is disadvantages. Sometimes the flowchart becomes complex if the program logic is quite long. So if the program logic is very long, what will happen? That the flowchart will become too long. If you want to change or edit something in the flowchart, you'll have to redraw it. Okay, so we can't keep erasing and making changes, editing. Okay, so so if it is too long, then we should be able to draw it logically so that we don't need to change it again and again. There are some rules for making a flowchart which I'll be covering in the next video. Okay, so as of now I'll close this lesson here. Thank you so much. So we'll be doing rest of the chapter in the next class. So whatever we have covered today, I would request you to please come up with your queries in the WhatsApp session. So let's start with a WhatsApp session after this video. Thank you so much.